What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Thursday, December 9th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 3-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Derek White from the San Antonio Spurs playing the Denver Nuggets, who have a good defense overall, but they give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Derek White has averaged 29.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 29.9 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 32 fantasy points or more, get you 5 times value or more. He's $6,300 DraftKings salary and $1,600 more on FanDuel. And Derek White has scored 44, 24, and 37 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 25, and 36 minutes. He's also played well versus the Nuggets, scoring 39, 40, 29, and 45 fantasy points in his last 4 games versus the Nuggets. So I like Derek White here versus the Denver Nuggets. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies playing the LA Lakers. And Desmond Bane has averaged 27.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. Oh, the Lakers have the 5th worst defense overall. They give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Now, I like this pick because Desmond Bane has been playing really well lately. He's got a good matchup, and I think he can score 35 fantasy points or more in this one and get you 5 times value or more. He's $6,900 DraftKings salary, and he's $500 less on FanDuel. So I like that FanDuel price. Now, Desmond Bane has scored 25, 41, and 48 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 31, and 33 minutes. So I like Desmond Bane here versus the LA Lakers. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. But now, if you're looking for a value play here and you don't want to pay up for Desmond Bane on DraftKings, take a look at D'Anthony Melton from the Memphis Grizzlies playing the LA Lakers. And D'Anthony Melton has averaged 23.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 25 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 22.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's $4,600 DraftKings salary, but he is $1,100 more on FanDuel. So I may lean towards D'Anthony Melton on DraftKings and Desmond Bane on FanDuel, but D'Anthony Melton has scored 29, 18, and 25 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 24, 23, and 26 minutes. So I like D'Anthony Melton as a value play on DraftKings here versus the LA Lakers. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like LeBron James from the LA Lakers playing the Memphis Grizzlies, who have the 6th worst defense overall. They give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. LeBron James has averaged 47.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 37 minutes per game with a 30% usage rate. He's projected at 49.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.9 times value. He's 10,100 DraftKings salary and 300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 223 points scored in this game, so I think this is a good game to stack. And LeBron James has scored 42 and 51 fantasy points in his last 2 games. And he's got a pretty good track record here versus the Grizzlies. He scored 44, 53, 53, 54, and 48 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Grizzlies. So I like LeBron James here versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. Here's another value play. I like Royce O'Neal from the Utah Jazz playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Royce O'Neal has averaged 23 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with an 11% usage rate. He's projected at 23.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's 4,300 DraftKings salary, 600 more on FanDuel, and Royce O'Neal has scored 36, 24, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 29, 37, and 32 minutes. So I like Royce O'Neal here versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, moving on to the center position, I like Jacob Piotr from the San Antonio Spurs playing the Denver Nuggets, who have a good defense overall. They've been good versus opposing centers, but Jacob Piotr has averaged 31.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He's projected at 31.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 6,400 DraftKings salary, 300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 214.5 points scored in this game, and Jacob Piotr has scored 37, 33, and 30 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 29, 32, and 31 minutes. So I like Jacob Piotr here versus the Denver Nuggets. Now, another couple centers that I like, if you want to come down off of the big studs on the slate, you want to come down off of Jokic or Embiid or Anthony Davis, I like Rudy Gobert, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Steven Adams, who's been playing well recently. Still only 5,100 DraftKings salary, scored 23, 45, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games. His minutes have ticked up, playing 30, 31, and 27 minutes in the last 3 games. So I think he could be an interesting option here. So these are the guys that I like at center. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.